So here I am at the southwest corner of lot 373. Love this property because it's a really nice wooded lot. And you know what I really like about it, of course, because I'm from a building background, is how easy it is to build. I mean, look at that really nice flat spot there. And you're tucked into the forest, feels very private, and yet it's really close to Highway A15. So it's very user friendly to get in and out of. And it's even more private because this is the Morningstar cul-de-sac here. Pretty awesome little cul-de-sac because it's like 10 properties served by one gate. And right now there's only one home on this cul-de-sac. So, you know, that lucky homeowner has a gated community all to himself. So when the owner of 373 builds here, it's going to be two homeowners with a gate. So it's really cool. Another thing I love about, especially where the building side of this thing falls, is let me pan around here to the south. So, you know, this is, you know, of course, we're in the middle of winter. We're not too far away from the winter equinox, and yet, you know, it's very sunny where I am. I'm in a, you know, a light little jacket here, and I feel warm. And you know, that wouldn't necessarily be the case if I was on a really shady north slope. So really good opportunity for getting a lot of light into a house if you build it right. So let me walk over to, by the way, did I say southwest or southeast? Because this is the southeast corner here. So let me walk down the cul-de-sac here, and you can see my van there. This road is only lightly plowed here because there's no homes up here, so it's a bit woolly getting in and out of here. But walking along the south side of this property here, again, you're getting a good look at that nice big flat area. And walking, I'm still walking. You got some pretty cool mountain views over here. You know, I can see a little snatch of Smith Peak through there. You can see kind of a shaded, filtered view of Penman Peak. And remember, there's a very liberal tree removal policy in the development here. And this site in general, I mean, this is a pretty fire safe site, but I would still say, you know, look at that big, beautiful Doug fir right there. I'd love to see someone come in, take out all those little pines around it so that, you know, there's the more nutrients for that tree. And that's the sort of forest health thing we really endorse here. So still walking, more of that flat site. This is a pretty big lot. It's 1.55 acres. And I mean, the cool thing is most of it really is this flat, easy build site. And then even though, and like I say, it's close to the road, it's right up against A15, but basically it consists of this flat, almost like plateau that, you know, drops off down to A15 in a pretty abrupt, you know, almost cliff. So not a lot of the land is burnt up in unusable steep land. And yet, because of the removal from Highway 15, you don't really feel like you're right on it. In fact, here comes a car. Let's see how loud this car noise is here. So that was not a thunderous, disruptive event, that car dropping by. I dropped this snow chunk in the road earlier to mark this corner of the lot. This is the southwest corner now. So now I'm on the southwest corner of the lot, and I'm gonna walk towards what I'm pretty darn sure is the northwest corner. I just walked it a minute ago and got my bearings on it without being on video. So, and again, looking up into the lot there. And so, I want to say it is right up down there. I think there's actually a little, you know, water bottle that got chucked off the road at some point. That is the corner of the lot, more or less. Please keep in mind, this is a dude with an app on his phone, not a licensed surveyor. But you can see along here, this is what I'm talking about. There's a good, I don't know, 30 foot or so, you know, pretty steep drop off down to this ditch along Highway A15. And, you know, that gets you a pretty big sound separation and visual separation from the road. So this lot, when you're up on it, it doesn't feel like you're near a road. It feels very secluded. It feels like a lot in the middle of the forest. So let's walk along the frontage along 815 here. Hope this isn't too shaky because I'm kind of sinking into the snow as I walk a little bit here. Yeah, again, I'm going to tree nerd out on you. Big, beautiful Douglas fir. There's not a whole lot of these in the development because we're on the drier eastern side of the Sierra. This property has a handful of them. I mean, great thing about these things too is, one, they're beautiful. Two, they're tough, you know, and they will take change in a way that the pines won't. Jeffrey pine, although being a very drought tolerant creature, is very sensitive. You disturb around the roots of a Jeffrey pine, you move dirt, you do that kind of stuff, or you even start introducing water, and you can kill them. Doug fir, you could plant a lawn under that thing, and it will go nuts. It will thrive. So they're cool trees to have around a home. And you know, I tend to think they're not quite as burny as pines. You know, they don't. You know, because their needles are shorter, they don't build the kind of fluffy pine needle layer that tends to be you know, not a great contributor to the fire regime. So walking, hey, look at that, dude, I can't get enough of these things. There's another really beautiful Doug fir. So now I'm kind of on, I guess, what would be the north end of the building site there. There's my van. You can just barely see my van through the trees over there. So really, really big, comfortable, easy build. And oh, you know what? I think here's my footsteps because I walked this thing before. So somewhere right around here is going to be our other property line. And again, it's somewhere right around there. Let me draw your attention to that little guy right there. This little drainage over here. This is resort open space that's got a trail corridor in it. You see the big granite boulders there. That over there is a home on Dancing Bears. So that's part of our big trail corridor space. So, and actually there's more open space over there between, like the strip in between Morningstar and the highway. And then there's more open space on the other side of the hill there. That's part of the golf course property. And I mean, cool thing here is, even though you're not like on Great Spirit or anything, you're actually very much in the resort core, especially if you go by trail, because the interpretive trail is right across from Morningstar, and you can jump on it there and literally like walk over to altitude in your flip-flops on a trail to get a cup of coffee, and it's going to take you all of a few minutes. So 5-10 minutes. So pretty amazing location. I'm coming up again along the property line. There once again is my van, and here, and actually you can see the effect of the southern exposure, because whereas a lot of places are still very buried in snow, we're melting off on this lot because of all that sun. There's some rather large paw prints. That's probably a dog. I'm hoping that's a dog. So here is back where we started this adventure. And God, I love that view. So here we are at square one, the southeast corner of the lot. Now let me walk into the lot itself and just get you a vibe for the building area. So, you know, usually on these lots, I'll have a pretty distinct idea of the driveway goes here or there. With this one, because you have this giant, very flat, very easy to construct sort of, you know, frontage to the road, it's really going to be a lot about, you know, the preference of the owner. You could stick it anywhere, and I could argue either way. It's nicer if it's further down there, so it's just you know, a couple hundred feet less driving. I could also argue that right there is pretty cool, just because it It gets you a little more sense of privacy if you're really encroaching on this lot right at the end of the cul-de-sac. So I think probably somewhere in here is the answer. And as easy as it is in a lot like this, I'd be tempted to do a loop driveway. Come there, have the house over here, you know, and then go back over there, just because that saves a lot of fussing and turning around and whatnot. So, and by the way, there's definitely some road noise here. If you can hear that, you know, a car just rolled by, and it was on, you know, definitely on the louder side as vehicles go. And I don't feel like that was a, you know, horribly disruptive affair. It was much more so standing on the edge of that drop off there when I was over there. But when I'm over here and imagine building a home, to me, this is very, it's, you know, the bit of woods that is between me and the road, and also just the drop off. The fact that we're this much higher and there's that giant chunk of earth between us and the road, it really mutes the noise a lot. It really makes you feel like you're in the middle of the forest. So if I was to say the middle of the build area, it'd probably be around here in this cluster of trees. So if I do kind of a 360 here, you can see this is a big, luxurious build area. So you could do just about anything in here. You could build a really big home, or you could build a really small home and have a lot of really cool outdoor entertaining space. So awesome lot. It's going to make someone very happy one day. So cheers, Dan out.